Hi, I'd like to start talking about the STEM Fair project. Um, Hopefully your student has told you about it and has access to the STEM Fair packet. It should be in Google Classroom. If you don't have a device at home, I did ask students to pick up a paper packet. So they should have it somewhere in their backpack. The STEM Fair packet looks like this. And I would suggest for you to sit down with your student and read it, at least all the way to page 9. It has a step-by-step guideline on the things that they need to have in their investigation. So the first page is the schedule of when the due date is. This is for 6th grade. The due date is February 15. We have a Mitchell Science Fair for 6th graders only. For 7th grade, their due date is February 21, but they are invited to go to the STEM Expo for 7th grade. The STEM Science Fair project is our summative for quarter 3. So definitely it does cover criteria B and C. So I'm giving the kids a heads up already on getting this settled in. Definitely start planning on it. That would cover criteria B. And then once they start doing their investigations and then testing and evaluating or gathering data and then evaluating their data, then that covers criteria C. They have about 2 months to work on this. So the sooner they start on this, then when they come back, then I can give them feedback and then they can keep working on it. Then they'll have a greater chance of success and a better chance for a better grade for quarter 3. So on this page, here are the websites that the students have been exploring. And these are the things to remember. Several students have asked if they can do volcanoes, and at this point we told them no volcanoes. It's time for them to get challenged to do something else. So how would they know that their idea is okay? Here's a checklist that would help them narrow things down, and then they need to write down their inquiry question. Their inquiry question needs to have their variables. The independent variable is what they're changing, and the dependent variable is what they're measuring. If their investigation, if they have a hard time figuring out what they are measuring, then most likely that's not a good science fair project for them. They need to have 2 choices, just in case their first choice is not safe, or it's hard for them to get materials, or they have a hard time figuring out what they're measuring, then at least they already have a backup idea. They need to research on their topic, and I've asked them to look at, they can look at books, magazines, videos, newspapers, different websites. It's important for them to document where they find things. Most likely your student is looking at websites, even on YouTube. So I have asked them to just copy paste. If they found the website, copy the website address and then paste it right here. That way they already know where it is, and then when they come back in January and they're ready to work on it again, they already know where to find that research. Alright, so that's more bibliography. Here's on how to develop a hypothesis. Right? It talks about the proper way of writing it down, making sure that both your independent and dependent variables are in there. And then planning your experiment to test your hypothesis. Here's another checklist. And here's the experiment proposal, which is page 8 and 9. I have asked the students to work on this during the break. The sooner they work on this, because it has everything. It has their problem, their hypothesis, their variables, how many trials, what data table they're going to use, how their setup is going to look like. They will be able to think things through in a more relaxed manner, and then hopefully they won't rush it, because in the classroom we don't have a lot of time. And then hopefully if they have this done, then I will be able to look into it before before we get back from school, before we get back from break, or even the first week back. Then I could already give them feedback so that they can start working on it, or if their idea is not viable, then they'll have time to look for another one. The main thing is for them to use the time wisely, and hopefully they won't be rushing through it. I remember as a parent, we would start working on a science fair project like 3 weekends before it's due, even 2 weekends before it's due, and it's not really that enjoyable. You're hoping that you would have some quality time with your kid, and it's not enjoyable because you're all rushing. So now hopefully, since you would have 2 months to work on it, then it would be more in a more relaxed pace, and you can have some quality conversations with your student on what they're really interested in. All right, so if you have any questions, again, email me. My email is mhowell@fcsd.org.